Hello and welcome to Radio Waves. I'm your host, Kris Poliquin. This is a production of Red Apples Media. We're broadcasting out of WLBE, Real Country, 790 AM out of Leesburg, Florida. And if you're watching us on television, you're doing so on Lake Sumter TV, Comcast Channel 13, Spectrum 498, and Prism Channel 83. So today I have, I'd like to say, a friend to be a guest on my show to talk about what he does in his organization. And that guest, friend, Mr. Don Magruder, Chief Executive Officer of RoMac Lumber and Supply. And we're going to be discussing for our audience everything that RoMac Lumber and Supply does, because a lot of people just think it's, one or the other. And I also believe that they have a rather large announcement to make, so we'll hear a little bit about that as well. So, Don, thank you for coming on to the show.
Well, Kris, thank you for having us. I'm overly excited. I'm not used to other people asking me questions, but yes, we do have a big announcement. As of today, November 1st, we are changing our names after 73 years. We've been known for 73 years as RoMac Lumber and Supply. But as of November 1st, our new name is RoMac Building Supply. And I know people say, well, that's a subtle name change. But the reason why is we're so much more than a lumber yard. When Mr. Roebuck, Horace Roebuck, Buck Roebuck started the business in 1945, the main issue was lumber. It was just after the war, and lumber was rationed. And he had a relative who was an executive with a large lumber company here in the South, Foley Lumber. And he was able to arrange to get lumber to Buck and his brothers to start a lumber yard. And it originally started out as the Roebuck and McDonald family, and that's where RoMac comes from. And they started out as a lumber yard because they could get lumber after World War II. And over the last 73 years, and especially the last 15, 20 years, RoMac Lumber and Supply has evolved so much where we're so much more than just a lumber yard. And we sell a multitude of products from the foundation to the rooftop, and we'll talk about that, I guess, a little later. But that's the reason for the change. So we're from this moment forward, we're RoMac Building Supply, and we're happy to continue. Same great ownership. The Roebuck family still owns the company, and still based in Leesburg, still locally owned and operated. But we just felt like we needed to identify ourselves properly. We're no longer just a lumber yard.
And haven't been for many years.
Really, we haven't been. And quite honestly, from a marketing standpoint, the word lumber had affected some of our core businesses in other areas. For example, we sell very expensive windows. We have Colby, Anderson, PGT, all the big brands, and we sell tens of thousands of dollars of windows every day. And when you go to a contractor or a homeowner and you say, I'm RoMac Lumber, but we want to sell you windows, it just was a disconnect. And for example, a couple of years ago, we acquired the assets of Walker Brothers Millwork, and they do high-end custom moldings, which we now do in our Leesburg custom door millwork shop. And once again, when you go to a homeowner that's building a $2 million home, or there's a $10 million commercial facility that's needing high-end commercial moldings, a lot of people look at you funny when you say, I'm with RoMac Lumber and Supply, because they think automatically you just think of a lumber yard, and we're doing all these specialty products. So that's the main reason.
And now, you've been a fixture, no pun intended, but a fixture in this community for, what would you say, 73 years.
Right.
How many locations do you actually have?
RoMac Building Supply has 4 principal locations. We have a location in Leesburg that spans about 6 city blocks. We have a location in Mount Dora, one in the Villages, and one in Ocala. But within those 4 locations, we have 10 different freestanding businesses. So we have 10 businesses that we have to deal with on a continuous basis. RoMac Building Supply is one of the largest independent building supply providers in the state of Florida, and one of the largest in the South.
Wow. Okay.
Every day we ship coast to coast.
Do you really?
In Florida, coast to coast, from Orlando to Jacksonville, and once a week we're going even to South Florida or into Georgia and Alabama and stuff like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. See, and for myself, I'm thinking very localized market, right? Lake County.
No,
but that's not the case.
We're actually have expanded our footprint so much. It seems like in the supply world, in the building supply world, so many people have honed themselves down to where they just do one or two different scopes. Mm-hmm. We sell from foundation to the roof. We sell even stucco and sand and roofing and drywall and custom products, and we do a lot of custom stuff. And that's what's really our niche. If you go to a big box store, if you ask for a custom door, custom window, you're probably going to get a strange stare. We get that every day, 10 times a day, people wanting especially custom items. And because of that, people are asking us to serve them in other parts of the state.
Okay. Now, speaking of the bigger box stores, actually, let me retract just a little bit. Who can shop at RoMac, and who should? Because I know for myself, it seems to me that's more of a contractor thing, right? So it's more for builders, and it's more for big purchases. But can the common person walk in, and look at a showroom?
Well, to be honest with you, our biggest customer is the cash homeowner.
Oh, is that? See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
And quite frankly, no, I'll be honest with you. RoMac does not sell. We don't sell lawn and garden, and we don't sell decor items, and we don't sell a lot of the things in the big box stores. And be frank with you, the big box stores do a good job if you're needing paint or stuff like that. But you believe it or not, more and more people are taking charge of their own construction projects. For example, I tell homeowners this all the time. If you go hire a builder or a remodeler to remodel a home or build a house, you still have to make the decisions on the design, the materials used, the colors, how you want it, if you want that to be yours. And quite frankly, with the price of building so much these days, and especially in an active adult lifestyle that we have down here, most people want what they want. So
right.
Really at RoMac Lumber, especially with our design center that draws custom plans, and our big showroom in Leesburg that has the door millwork displays, we allow the consumer, the homeowner, to come in and make those decisions prior to seeing the builder. So quite frankly, the biggest part, we get a lot of our builders who are building a home, they'll send their customers into our location to pick these products out.
Okay. Now, you brought up a design center. What exactly do you design in Leesburg, or in your center?
Well, we have a design center that draws house plans, and we have draftsmen in there, and you can come in, and if you're planning a remodel or addition or new home, they can draw your house plans. Now, to be honest with you, we don't do the huge custom homes because at that point it's more of an architectural thing. Mm-hmm. But we provide you sealed custom plans. We have them engineered, and your plans are ready for permitting. But one thing unique that we've done, and it's just taken off tremendously, is we now offer a preliminary plan. A lot of people, when they're planning a project, they don't know where to start, and they get concerned. Well, if I go to a builder or a remodeler and I talk to them about, golly, I'm committed to them, and maybe I'm not want to be committed. Yeah. I want to change. So you can come into the RoMac Lumber Design Center, say you want to do a remodel, tell our designers what you want. We can draw the remodel up for you, a preliminary plan. Then you can pick out what you want on it, and then you can take it to multiple builders, multiple remodelers, and talk to them about price and not feel so obligated. The preliminary plans start at $195. Generally, they don't go much more than that. And it gives homeowners and consumers flexibility to take charge of their projects. And that has just been taken off wonderfully for us. In addition, when you come in to do the design in our design center, we have this big, beautiful window and door and siding display. It looks like a house, but it has a multitude of products, and you can walk through it and make real decisions on your plans. Because the number one mistake people make when they design a plan and they do a project is they do not go in detail on the plans what they're actually putting in the house. And that's one thing that we have solved at the RoMac Lumber Design Center, or RoMac Building Supplies Design Center.
Right.
I got to get used to the name also.
That's all right. It's all right. Yeah, and I totally understand that, because for a lot of people, they kind of know what they want. Maybe they saw something on television, and it sounds like this helps paint the picture. So at least if they see it on paper, they can go, oh, well, no, that's not what I meant, at the very least, and kind of help guide them to, I guess, what it is they ultimately want.
Oh, absolutely. And a big part of a remodel or additions is the roof trusses. And RoMac Lumber RoMac Building Supply in Leesburg has a complete roof truss manufacturing facility with designers of roof trusses. And the ultimate goal when you do a addition or remodel is that when it's completed, it looks like the original house. How many times have you gone down a road and you can look and say, well, I can see they've added a room on.
Yep.
If they can tell, if someone from the road can tell you've added onto your house, then the roof trusses are generally not done well. What gives us a unique advantage in our design center is our truss plant team can go out there and measure the planes of your roof, and then we can get an accurate measurement and do an accurate takeoff so that you know for sure what's going on with that remodel. It's pretty good stuff, and once again, that's the hard stuff that most people can't do. You can't get it at a big box store, can't get it at any other facility here in town, and this is something we do that is unique to our company.
Yeah, and again, I think it's definitely value added.
Absolutely.
Because if you can't see what you want, a lot of times, and it isn't just with homes or extra rooms or bonus rooms, sometimes you think you know what you want, and then once you actually get it, well, by then it's already too late and the money's already spent,
And ultimately, and that's what I tell any homeowner that's planning a project, it's good to make your decisions priorhand, because once you get in the construction process, it's too late. One of the biggest problems you have is you'll sit down with a builder or contractor and you'll ask them, well, hey, can I get hardy siding on the house, or can I get this door put in? And they say, yeah. And they're not taking copious notes. And unfortunately, in our industry, that's a huge problem. And what we can solve at the Design Center and a lot of our other areas, we can provide the copious notes so that you get what you want. And that's very important.
Okay. Well, Don, we need to take a quick break. And when we return, we'll get a little bit more into the world of Don Magruder and RoMac Building Supply. So we will be back here in a couple of moments. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to Radio Waves. Again, I'm your host, Kris Poliquin, and this is a production of Red Apples Media. Today we're speaking with Don Magruder, CEO of RoMac Building Supply out of Leesburg, Florida. So, Don, before the break, we were talking about the design center and some of the, it's going to sound cheesy, some of the fascinating things you can do there. But to me, it really is. It shows how technology is catching up to really, really practical purposes for things outside of cell phones and checking, your email and stuff. You're putting technology into your customers' hands to help them develop what they want. But you have a lot of, well, actually you have several departments. You mentioned earlier about your custom millwork and doors and things like that. Can you go into a little more detail about that?
Well, we're a company of 73 years old.
73, that is.
Yeah, it's amazing. But you're talking about technology. I can speak about technology because in the last 6 months we've made about $1.5 million investment in new equipment, getting new. We're putting a whole new interior door line in, a new truss saw that was $400,000. New
Just
tables.
for the saw?
Yeah, saw's $400,000. Our new interior door line's about $500,000, and it's all new technology that provides gives you wonderful quality. And so even though we are old, we're investing continuously in new technology. Our custom door and millwork shop. It's just fantastic. I'll be honest with you. So many people struggle with, you can go to any place and get a 6-panel door with a colonial case, and hey, that's everywhere. But, most people don't want that. They want wider jambs or wider doors. And the other thing, there's probably not a building constructed here in Central Florida that at some point a door is misblocked up. They don't put the right block height, and you have to cut it down. We do all of that. We do custom sized doors, custom moldings. We actually built for a church in Ocala in our custom millwork shop a $36,000 interior church door with crosses in it. It was absolutely gorgeous. We've done
wow, really?
We've done cherry and mahogany moldings for custom homes. We're doing those things that people want to call their own.
Right.
And we do all kind of wonderful doors. Plus, we all have installation services on a lot of our products. A lot of people look at RoMac Building Supply, and this is another reason why we changed from RoMac Lumber to RoMac Building Supply. Most people don't know that RoMac Building Supply installs probably more garage doors than anybody in the state of Florida.
Really? Is that right?
We install thousands of garage doors every year. We service thousands of garage doors. Been doing garage doors for 35, 40 years. We have a wonderful line of garage doors. We have a great service department. In fact, we're just in demand all the time. We need help. In fact, if I'll do this plug, if someone needs
Absolutely.
a job, man, we got plenty of work at RoMac Building Supply in a lot of areas because we just stay that busy. And we've been very fortunate and blessed. But our RoMac custom door and millwork shop is absolutely fabulous. There's not another one here in Lake County that can do the work we do.
And see, that's what's amazing to me is I don't want anybody to take for granted exactly what you do and the scope of what you do. And I think the brand name, the brand switch was a good idea because I'm in implant as of 4 or 5 years. So RoMac Lumber and Supply, I'm thinking construction. That's where I'm going to go to get my lumber. First time I walked into your Leesburg office, and for the audience, I attend 99.9 of Don's show. He also hosts a radio show. I was just beside myself on just how much you actually do and provide. And yet, I don't know that everybody really appreciates what you can do, especially with all the new residents we have coming into Lake County over the last couple of years and projected new residents.
Oh, yeah. And, a lot of people have no idea that, for example, we're a major shingle provider. We have 5 boom trucks, and we ship probably in a week's time 6 to 7 semi-truckloads of roofing out every week. And we put them on the roofs of jobs. In other words, roofer tears the roofing off and they felt it. We will put the shingles up on top of the roof. We have GAF, Owens Corning, and Tamco. Big selection, but we're a major roofing supplier. We're a major drywall supplier. We sell sand and stucco out of our outdoor yard. We literally, it's just so many scopes that we do. It's amazing. And we're very proud of that. Very proud of it.
Oh, I imagine so. And just to weather all the economic disasters we've suffered in 73 years, just as a state as well as a country. I mean, I think that speaks volumes. Yeah, it really does.
Well, this is my 39th year in the build material business for, 35 years. I guess I've been running operations or handling operations in this business. Been through a lot of downturns. Of course, the 2008 crash was about the worst. And but the Roebuck family here in Leesburg, we're committed to the area. We have a good game plan. We run a good business. We've got great people. The biggest thing that helps RoMac Building Supply is our people. We have an experienced staff. We have managers that most of our management teams have been there 15 years or longer. Got some guys been there 30, 35, 39 years.
Wow.
We've got some experience that most people just don't have. And we're very blessed. We have a great environment for people to work. And that's, to me, what makes us different.
And I was going to ask a little bit later on the show, but I'll ask now. And this is going to sound like a plug, but it's really not. I think for a lot of our audience, this is a realistic question. Why would I go to RoMac Building Supply instead of a normal box store if for what you cater to? Because I know the big box stores they are good. You know, you can generally find everything you want. When should you go to RoMac instead?
Well, first off,
and why?
We have service people and professionals we're going to sell you the right item first. If something is not right, we can fix it and make it right. We have the custom people to handle it. Most of the time, we're under the price of a big box stores. That's where most people just get blown away. Our molding prices and our door prices are significantly under. Our lumber prices are under because we're closer to the market. We sell a lot of commodities, heavy commodities. You know, we'll ship 10 semi-truckloads of lumber out of our Leesburg yard every
That's amazing.
every day.
Well,
And
wow.
And we just move so much stuff. We have some expertise that helps us. So you're not going to get a blank look if there's a problem.
Right. And I'm not bashing, but as opposed to walking down the wrong aisle and catching the wrong person and saying,
Yeah.
I'm looking for this one screw, which 20 years ago, they knew exactly where it was. But now, it's almost like, oh, I know what I'm looking for. I just need help finding it.
And even that big box model, not only for the building material business, but for department stores, is being challenged now because of there's something called the internet and there's something called Amazon and Google. And most people
Right.
now, when they need a pieces part, for example, if something breaks on a sprinkler or whatever, no one goes searching for it no more. They search online, and if you have some of these memberships, you can have it next day.
Right.
And
Right.
so we actually see our model where we have a custom type model that focuses on service, and we carry products people need now. That's a good go for it model in the changing digital world.
And I tend to believe that as well. And the reason I say that is I get it. The convenience of online shopping is huge. But sometimes you just got to have it in your hand. You know, you have to look at it and ask questions. And you got to have someone to get the right answers from.
And Kris, that's the reason why our designer showroom in Leesburg and Ocala are so popular. You know, there's something I call glamour shots. You know, back in the 80s, it was very popular to get glamour shots.
Yeah.
And for
I was wondering if that's what you're talking about.
Well, and to be honest with you, back in the day, if a man or woman had a little age on them, the glamour shot would be a little hazy or touched up, and it put the best light forward. And to be honest with you, on the internet, there's a lot of glamour shots on merchandise you buy. They're taking the perfect picture of it, and it looks wonderful. But ask yourself, how many times have you ordered something and it looked great on the picture, and when you got it in your hands, you said, wow, that's disappointing. And that's the difference between our designer showroom. You get to touch, feel, and, we got some windows. You can lift them up, crank them out, look at them. And that's better than a glamour shot on the internet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to answer your glamour shot question, every time I go to a fast food restaurant.
Right.
Because it looks great until it's in your hand.
Absolutely.
If someone wanted to get information on some of your services and products and things you do, because there's no way we can get everything into a 30-minute show.
Right.
Where can they get that information?
Well, first off, you can call our main number at 352-787-4545, or you can go to romacfl.com and you can get all the information. That's RoMacFL.com. And you can pull up our website. We're redoing our website with the new logo and all that, but we've got great information. But give us a call, and we'd be happy to talk to you about anything.
Great. Well, Don, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for taking your time to get here. But thank you so much, and I hope things go well with you.
Kris, thank you and Red Apples Media. Y'all have a great show and great publication.
Well, thank you. And that does it for our show today. I'm your host, Kris Poliquin. We'll see you next time.